Let's do it, guys. In the top right of butter, OctZerg. In the bottom right of butter, Gypsy. Okay. Butter being the choice here from OctZerg, I am not surprised about. Kind of makes sense. Butter, like, he tried Sylphid. It didn't really work. I believe that was the map reset now. So he could have chosen any map, but he does go with Butter, which was our last one that wasn't played anyways. And Butter has a wide open natural, so you definitely have that potential. Also, another thing to mention, there are a lot of high to low ground shifts that occur on the map. And sometimes that can be helpful for setting up tricky maneuvers. Also, there's about 3 paths through the map, similar to Eclipse, right? So there's like, if we zoom out a bit, the central way, you can kind of go down. You'll see, because Gypsy will send an SCV up that way. But then you have this way as well. And then there's like another way up the side that goes up to even higher ground. So when you start counting the amount of paths, that gives you more counterattack potential. Which, you know, when you feel like you're not going to win a macro game against someone, these are the things that you're thinking about a lot of the time. It's like, okay, is there like a cheese build? Maybe I can win through counterattacks, right? Because like if you counterattack well, that's a huge thing. Like, even if your opponent has a bigger army, you know, a lot of times Terran has to turn around to deal with counterattacks. So, like, very good counterattacks are a great way to beat a Terran that's better than you. Anyways, OctZerg here, you know, taking that hatchery first, as expected. Gypsy just with a very quick wall. This could have been bad if there was a 4-pull once again. Kind of a funny thing, right? Because you want to wall against OctZerg, but also like maybe he should be 4-pulling people more often. I know that sounds like a silly thing to say, kind of, but that's where, like, if you see 4-pulls in the pro scene, the place that they're getting wins with it and what they're looking for specifically is Terrans that wall in, because when you wall, like, your depot's way up here and your barracks is in the front. So you get there before the barracks finishes. And then you have to bring SCVs up to fight. And it's like, it gets very, very messy. And it can be held, technically. I've seen it held. It comes down heavily to the micro of both sides. But it definitely is something that can get you a quick kill. And it definitely can occur at the pro level. So might be something smart for OctZerg to actually start mixing in on some of these maps against the macro Terrans that want to wall against him. So anyways, that's a normally timed layer here for a 2-hatch Mutalisk build here from OctZerg. Not to say that it's going to be that, but that is the right timing for it. Gypsy, once again, going for this quick +1. Now, he can go for the quick +1 because of this wall. If you don't have this wall and you try to go quick +1 here, I think OctZerg will oftentimes kill you. Even if you make a bunker, because this natural is incredibly wide open. This is actually something Terrans have started doing heavily lately. Actually, one of the first Terrans I saw doing this consistently was Mind, who has just come back to top form. And it's like, whenever you're seeing these wide natural bases, like Sylphid or like Butter, it's better to just put these buildings out here and be like, yeah, I don't know, maybe you kill this depot with your mutas later, but at least the Zerglings aren't going to kill me, right? It's more about hedging that early damage. All right, the layer about to finish. He's going to get that spire up immediately. There it is. Lings still pushing back the SCV. No speed upgrade. That's kind of interesting. I'm surprised there's no speed upgrade. And he goes 3rd hatch in main. That's actually not normally the build order for that. The, oh, nice block there. And he does end up seeing the 3rd hatch. So that's actually a pretty big amount of information. But Gypsy was already, I'm sure, suspicious that there was no Zergling speed. Because normally when you get your layer before 4 minutes, you're going to see Zergling speed at 4 minutes. And when you don't, then it's like, wait, what's going on here, right? Anyways, this Overlord actually flies in for a little peek, which is something OctZerg... Excuse me, sorry. Something that OctZerg actually historically has done a lot is try to bait you to go attack an Overlord so he can run in and kill you with Zerglings. It's like something he's literally done for like, I don't know, 20 years. I don't remember exactly when OctZerg started doing that, but in this time it's not going to work. He blocks everything. It wasn't that many Lings either. But yeah, he tries to scout. Not going to get very much intel. 3 racks is going up. I think he has a good idea of what's going on. Anyways, not a big deal. Looks like we had a canceled academy, or a canceled comsat there, but he's going to scan. 5 mutas being made. Going to go ahead and add on a few more here. Range and +1 are both well on the way here for Gypsy. And it's turret time. Now, he is getting Zergling speed now after his Mutalisks, which obviously you need it. But what I'm most interested in here, are we going to go 8 mutas into Lurker again? That seemed to work really well for him in the previous game against Gypsy. And I think against 4x +1 in general, the quicker Lurkers you get generally are going to be better. Because, yeah, not always, but a lot of times with this build, you get slower Science Vessels. So it can be a little bit annoying if they have Lurkers in position, because your pressure on that generally gets started just slightly later than it would with like a 3 racks build. Now 6 mutas flying in. Not quite that 7 that you really need to dive. Not really sure why he's poking that hard. Like, again, you want 7 mutas so you're one-shotting SCVs. It's like, there's very important numbers for mutas, right? Like, you want 5 against Protoss, you need 7 against Terran. Once you have 7 against Terran, you can do things like dive in, because you're at least killing an SCV with every shot. But if you're killing an SCV every 2 shots, or 2 every 3 shots, that's a lot worse. So we have the Evolution Chamber. Ooh, okay, okay. And he's setting up this base. Okay. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. Now, there is a possibility that what we see here out of OctZerg turns into Crazy Zerg. Don't know for sure. This is not actually even considered a great map for Crazy Zerg, I don't think. I haven't seen Crazy Zerg here, I don't think, at all. He is making a lot of Lings at the moment. Like a really serious amount of Lings. It looks like he wants to crush this army. But he is getting that +1 carapace rather quickly. And, well, I mean, actually, I think Crazy Zerg can be a very good build against these quick +1 builds. I'll talk about that in a minute. But, he is going to be able to take out these... Oh, my God. Why won't that turret die? Holy crap. Great repair there from Gypsy. Really slowing down that damage. And now the counterattack is coming. Uh-oh, this is a big problem. Okay, so right now he is making 3 more mutas. His mutas are flying back. Gypsy may try to just catch these. Oh, that's what he's doing. Oh, OctZerg sees it. He sees it. He pulls away. Very clutch moment from OctZerg. Oh, my God. That, like, if he had flown over that, that's game. That's game. Okay, so I did want to mention this, right? So, Crazy Zerg, I think, can be a good build against some of these quick +1 builds, because... Wait a second, we have a counterattack coming up. I got to talk about that first. Jumps on those turrets, jumps on these Marines. The Ling's actually doing a pretty darn good job. Gypsy's coming home with everything, and he will clean up the Lings. I mean, a couple SCVs are going to go down. He did get the turrets. He did kill some of the Marines, and he will fly off. It looks like we're going to need Mass Sunken, though. This is going to have to turn in Crazy Zerg. I don't think he has other options. Like, maybe he can go Defiler off the back of this? I don't think so. You need to... Dude, these need to become Sunkens right now. These need to become Sunkens a minute ago. This is... Uh-oh. He's going to lose this base. This base is gone. That is bad, bad, bad news for OctZerg. That is not what you want to see. Oh, man. Okay. Anyways... OctZerg going back, a little bit of a counterattack. At least he's getting a little bit of SCV damage. This hatchery will end up falling. Notice, though, the worker count, how it's pretty close overall. Now, Gypsy's still got enough workers. 37 workers is enough on 2 base for this matchup. Like, you're still functioning. As long as you have around 33 workers or so, you're functioning still in TVZ. So he's still doing okay worker-wise, but OctZerg has a pretty healthy amount of workers. The problem is he lost that hatchery. Now, he is denying a lot of mining at this base, so that's something at least. Lot of Sunkens go down. Does Gypsy think he can break this? With the 5th sunk, I don't think so. And these 4 are in a pretty good line. He's got some extra mutas here. 5 more Marines, 100%. This, it gets a little bit iffy. Now, he is catching this factory out on the map. Are we going to see an Ultralisk Cavern off 2 gas? We are. Craziness. Is he going to start the 2nd Carapace? Which, by the way, that's actually why a lot of times with the quick +1 builds, your +2 actually starts very slow because you get +1 armor second. So a lot of times Crazy Zerg can actually get ahead on upgrades against the quick upgrade builds. I know it sounds weird. Nice clear there from OctZerg, by the way. And he does start that +2 carapace before +2 attack from Gypsy. I'm sure Gypsy will start it very soon. So the difference isn't going to be that large. It's not that big a deal. But that is why Crazy Zerg kind of can work against a build like this sometimes. Now, it looks like Gypsy did try a little bit of a bust here. Looks like I missed a little bit of that. Sorry. And he is getting a few drones. Oh, gets those mutas as well. The rest of the mutas are flying back, so he'll be able to clear the rest of this. Kind of annoying, though. Loses a few of his workers. The rest of this Bioforce will be cleaned up. Now, the real big problem that I foresee here is OctZerg securing his 3rd. Obviously, this is the big issue at hand. Like, nowadays in modern ZVT, this is normally not a question. Back in 2018, you know, maybe part of 2019, it was a question. Are you going to get a 3rd base up? Back when we were like 3 hatch play against 5 racks +1. This quicker meta that we're in nowadays, like Zerg always has a 3rd base. So the fact that OctZerg does not have this yet and needs to work to secure this is very painful for him. Now the scan went down, so Gypsy knows this is being taken. He actually has a Marine going down this side, which is an invaluable scan, like invaluable scout rather. The fact that he sees this base is gigantic. So now he knows that OctZerg is almost doing like a spray and pray as far as expansions. He's putting down 2. He hopes he gets 2, but he'll settle with 1. Because he needs that additional gas to actually make ultras. He doesn't have enough gas to make enough ultras to truly fight Gypsy here. Now, Gypsy's +2 is a little bit behind. So there is going to be a little window of, I think it's about 30 seconds, that looks like to me. About 30 seconds where OctZerg is going to have ultras that are really good against his Marines. It's doubtful that we'll have that come into play and just decide the game, but maybe. Send some drones over to his 3rd. Gypsy roaming the center. He has these vessels. This is very dangerous for the mutas. The ultras as well, and even the Marines. They do give an immolation buff to the ultras, so you have to watch out with your Marines about that. Ultra speed and the additional carapace are still being made, right? Ultras without their speed, very, very slow. Without that additional carapace, they aren't going to fight as well against these Marines as you want. Okay, jumps in on top of these turrets once again. Look at this. The Crackling's coming in to attack. Ultra's coming as well. Now, Ultra's coming down. He actually clears 2 of them there, but the counterattack is taking place. Now, Gypsy has to bring his Bioforce home, and he will kill all this. Okay, so Gypsy 100% will clean this all, but OctZerg is doing some damage, and he's buying a lot of time. So, like, I like Gypsy's position, but the fact that OctZerg is buying all this time while getting additional gas, and maybe additional gas, I don't know that he can continue, though. Can he? He did get that additional carapace upgrade. That's why this thing's invincible and still alive somehow. Look at that thing. Are you kidding me? It's so funny. It just won't die. Look at that. Fights for years alone. It's like Rambo. He had chitinous plating. Now, can OctZerg continue this? Can he continue this? Maybe. It's kind of a wild game. Irradiate's coming down onto those ultras. I think you want to spread them here. You want to make sure you're minimizing damage as much as is possible. See, they're going to pop super quick standing next to each other. Ouch. Very, very low on health. The Scourge coming out at the wrong time. He's going to catch those. Starting to look a bit better for Gypsy now. OctZerg's showing a bit of life with his counterattack style. You know, he does have these different paths. He's trying to utilize them. Additional macro hatch coming up. Does have another ultra. 3 more ultras are being made. I think just barely not enough because of the irradiates. If these were all like, if he just had the ultras and there were no irradiates, he would have enough to kill this army. But as is, I don't think so. Now, Gypsy is getting low on minerals, so like maybe there is some universe in which Gypsy kills this base, OctZerg rallies, eliminates this force. I don't know. Maybe. It doesn't seem like OctZerg thinks so. He's going to attack up the ramp. This is not going to be able to work, unfortunately. But he must have ultras. No, those are lings hatching. Okay. Well, I mean, you just got to give that up. That can't do anything. Gypsy has those great upgrades now as well. Looks like their +3s are pretty much lined up. Maybe Gypsy's slightly ahead there. OctZerg kind of putting on like a heroic performance for how badly things went after he lost that third base. But you can see, oh my god, look at the irradiate just wreck everything. How is that spell even fair? Oh my god. Poor OctZerg. Running away now. The Marine medic just sitting there in a ball. Just a ridiculous amount of Marines here for Gypsy. Starts his third command center. It might even be worthwhile to lift this, honestly. I think it is time for him to think about really getting that expansion down. The irradiate's probably going to just prove to be too much. Really, that's what is happening here to OctZerg, unfortunately. Like, he's being whittled down. He just did not have enough this game. And I think that's just about GG. The amount of Marines and medics coming, he simply cannot hold any longer. This 135 to 76, he's doubled the supply. So it looks like Gypsy going to be able to take another victory here. Does end up taking down those ultras. Stemming in. And yeah, that's going to be it, man. We'll check if OctZerg has like 2 lings counterattacking somewhere. No, doesn't look like it. Likes to hold on till the very last moments. Living life to its fullest. But Gypsy going to pick up another victory here. Yeah, well, 4 ultras are about to hatch, so, you know, carapace and a dream. That's what we got here for OctZerg. I honestly don't know why he stays. But, honestly, it was another good game from him. It was another good game. Like, he really... He pushed him hard. He pushed him hard. Gotta hand it to him.